She made it okay. But
That is,
everything, the way they get to everything, you pay for everything. They have a lot of snacks, a lot of food on the plane, but you pay for everything. You have to pay for you have to pay for the earphones for the movie. You have to pay for those too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but then you can take your own earphones or, you know,
Yeah, but it's a good deal if you don't mind being a little bit, it's like taking a taxi or a cab in terms of how they treat you. They don't treat you, there was more conversational, or I don't know, but she said that's what it was. They were brutal. They weren't nice to you.
yeah.
So
So,
don't
well,
mind
good.
that.
Well,
Don't mind. If I
uh,
mind, people probably like it, more argumentative, I guess. Maybe that's just
yeah.
something, you know. Yeah, I can speak my mind, you know.
Yeah, that's what
Man, long flights, if you screw airlines, you get pissed off, you know. Hey, we're Spirit, right? Okay, cool. Hey, yo.
let's do something fun. Yeah.
Who does that
All
ever
right.
fly? Yeah, plane? I would never do that. Ever.
Oh, geez. Well, we are live on YouTube now, and so we're getting ready to read the Impersonal Life, or actually, it's not the Way Out this time. We're on
We're beyond.
Way Beyond.
We're
Yeah.
beyond that. We're beyond right
Yeah.
now.
Think that's it. So, yeah. So, welcome, Wayne, and everyone
Thanks.
here. Yeah, let's go dig into our book,
Okay.
and uh, I'm not. I'm traveling.
What do you want to start with God within you? Why not?
Yes. Yeah.
Why don't you start there? Well, you
Yeah.
can read. You want to read?
Sure. Sure. The God Within You, and these are the five books. The Impersonal Life,
Right.
by Joseph Benner. This volume here is called The Way Beyond. Let's see.
We're beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, The Way Beyond. So
Yeah.
we had the Impersonal Life, The Way Out. Now this is the Way
Yeah,
Beyond.
this is just so anyone in the room might have said before, but this is the voice of this is actually before the course came out. But the voice presented in a slightly more sort of almost a more primal sort of way, more direct sort of sort of I would say more it, it was early 1900s pop psychology sort of way. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and but it is the voice. When you read the whole thing, you find yourself connected to God in the same way you would when maybe Bill Goldsmith or Christian Science or Ernest Holmes or any of those guys. And all of that, of course, you have the course as your primary catechism, and everything else kind of surrounds that. And this is one of those. Well, let me put it this way: I said to myself, Lynn was at one point, channeling Jesus. And I think Ken said everyone channels. You channel either Jesus, you channel ego, Holy Spirit, ego. And if I have the book, if I have a book in my hand, is it the right minded book or wrong minded book? So I asked myself, is this what we're doing here? Anything we're doing here, is anything we're doing here at all right minded, wrong minded? Is this conversation wrong minded? You're muted. You're muted, Lynn. Lynn, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm trying to get something going on the radio. I don't think we're going to be able to broadcast on the radio because this thing is not working the way I want it to. Anyway,
No,
but there's nothing right and there's nothing wrong.
no. I mean,
That's what you have to understand. There's the rules that we have for this world and how we live are all made up.
well, of course.
Yeah.
I was somebody into that to the morality. As much as I was saying, right, the right mind and the wrong minded book. In other words,
Yeah.
is this book Christ-minded book or is it a wrong-minded book? If it's a right-minded book, then it's from Jesus, the Holy Spirit. It's because the number of the Holy Spirit is the right mind. You have wrong mind, right mind. You have Christ with the ego. I mean, this is how I look at it. If you come from a place of love and joy, that's it. You're right minded. So any book that comes from that is a right minded, loving book and a compassionate book.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't, you can't have high standards.
Yeah.
It was what
But
you're sort of saying. Morality is made up, so you're saying it can be somewhat vague.
right, and because what I found out, Wayne, is what I notice is that there are some people that I consider to be very right-minded who have a completely opposite point of view. On some things, they're very right-minded. On other things, they seem to have a completely opposite point of view of uh, things. So, for instance, they could be, the kindest, most great Course in Miracles students. But boy, you tell them, oh, found out that this person over here was a rapist or a racist or a murderer or a Republican or a Democrat or any of those things. And the most right minded people that I know will jump to some kind of conclusion of how wrong it is that these people have done or think or do the way that they do. And so, that being said, um, it those people, I would well, the racist people who are ultra racist, they absolutely believe that their thinking is right and
Sure.
that God agrees with them.
They
Or
believe
people,
the purpose is just, and the end is both now. They're right and they're superior and they're the right to do what they want to do.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
But,
and so uh and
mm,
and and you might say, well, they shouldn't be thinking that way, or they shouldn't be doing this, or they should,
I
but
see what I
they're
can do.
saying the same thing about you.
Yeah. I say
They're saying the
insanity, is what
same
I
thing
say.
about you.
I say they're insane. When you're insane, you can't be guilty.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think
You know,
innocent by
right?
being of insanity.
Insanity, right? So this way, it's like MAGA. I don't know where they're coming from, but this is MAGA is insane,
Yeah,
and and that's where they know where I'm coming from.
yeah,
That's all right because I'm insane too. I don't think I'm insane in the area where you think I'm insane in other areas. When we're all
exactly.
insane, oh, we're all insane.
Right. And so that's what, you have to recognize that nothing in this dream makes any sense at all.
Yeah, I'm walking around like I have Parkinson's disease. We're all walking around like when we're getting sick and dying. Who are we to say? He's walking around like he's being an asshole.
Yeah,
Out of,
exactly.
out of control dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just check something really quickly here. And let's see who has there. Okay, and Robert's saying the ego's fitness program.
You know what?
Running, jumping to conclusions, beating around the bush, running around in circles, etc. That's it, Robert.
What's the Shakespeare quote? Signifying nothing. How's it going?
Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
Yeah, that one. But life is big, is whistles and this and that, and signifying nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Shakespeare had it right, man. I
Yeah,
don't know all that either, but I do know that things like that you hear, you think, well, that makes sense. And how
all
did
is
he
well
know?
and as well, and as well, of course, Peter did everything as well.
All right, I'm just checking on my phone. So I have the radio. I'm just checking to see if the radio is working. It's hard for me to tell because I have one computer and I'm doing
Well,
remote.
I can get on the radio.
The radio's working?
Yeah, I can wait. Let me see. I can hold on.
There, let me put this on here. Exactly. Oh yeah.
It's ringing.
So you know what? That's very cool because what I'm doing on my other computer that runs the radio, I just have it. I'm just playing this YouTube video. I just have the YouTube up on that computer.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
it,
that's
I don't have
good.
to open up a second Zoom and go through all that, trying to figure out where the mic was, try to figure out what was. I
Oh,
just
so
put it.
you recovered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good
So
there.
yeah, I got it going on, but I can't tell on this computer because this is the same computer that's remotely running the other computer. I love technology. Okay, so one, the God within you. Now we are going to try to make clear to you the statement in The Way Out that God is within you.
We read
Make
that
it
way out.
so. What's that?
The way out was the last thing we read, right?
The one before this,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you
Yeah, this one, let me get the list here. So this is The Way Beyond we're reading.
go. Okay.
So yeah,
There we are.
yeah. So we read The Way Out. Now we're reading The Way Beyond, God Within You. That's pretty handy too. I can just
Yeah.
bring up the index right there. So
No, no.
okay, so we will make it so clear that nevermore will you think of him with a capital H God as somewhere up in the skies, nor will you be uncertain as to who or what he is. First, try to realize that the life animating and growing you is not your life, and that you have no control over it, that it does things to you, causes you to do things, puts you through all the experiences you are undergoing without your consent, and that seemingly it knows just what it is doing and must have a very wise and loving purpose in doing it. Likewise, the consciousness that you call yours seemingly receives all its ideas, thoughts, and impressions wholly independent of your will or desire. Okay, this here is how we actually see things, right? Um, we have to come to see that the life that we think we are is not my life. I have no control over it. It's going to do things, put me places, do things, show me things without my consent, and it just knows what it's doing, and it has a purpose, right?
So it's so amazing that the word dream was used. All you have to do is dream and imagine you think it's actually happening.
Yeah,
You think you're the character in the dream. You think you are the main character and only the main character in the dream, and everyone else is separate from you.
exactly.
So you're
Yeah,
doing nothing. Then when you realize you're not, then you realize that you're nothing and nobody.
right. Exactly. Yeah. No,
That's
no
what,
one's being harmed, nothing's going on. And
but initially though, that's a hard bull to swallow initially.
right, right.
And
Absolutely.
I thought it was somebody. And what did Rocky say? For the first time in the neighborhood. Yeah, I want to be somebody. I have to win.
Yeah.
Well, you realize what win what?
Get the crap beat out of you until you're
Yeah.
bloody
I
and your brain's bruised.
won. I did it, Adrian. I did it.
Oh my gosh. But you know
No, I
what?
love Rocky. No, if anyone, I was making fun of Rocky. Anyone, I love that.
I love all those too.
Yeah.
Um, so he says, you know, that first you have to try to realize that I need do nothing. There's a plan. Everything is moving. I'm just a part of I'm a cog in the machine and just moving along with the machine. So then he says, likewise, and this I think is really important, the consciousness you call yours seemingly receives all its ideas, thoughts, and impressions wholly independently of your will or desire. They come into your mind when they will, influence your feelings and actions continually, and you have little power to prevent it. And I mean, this is absolutely true. It's like the thoughts that come into my mind are
Where they come
not.
from?
Do you ask for those thoughts?
I
Do you say,
have no idea where they come from.
yeah,
I have no idea where they go. And then once you realize that the body is part of that thought stream,
yeah,
oh, you know, it's like being in a river
exact.
and floating down with the river like on the rocks and everything, you know. And we're floating down the stream in one of those one of those streams on the side of the road.
Uh-huh.
You
And a
know,
little pink boat.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, no. It's almost like most of us don't even have a boat.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
So yeah, that's kind of how we are, right? We're just floating down that little river.
yeah.
So also you will admit that you have no power of your own, that you can think, speak, and do only as the power to do these things is given you from within, and that something, again, something with a capital S, doing all this unquestionably is a greater, far wiser, and a very loving something that knows always what to do, knows the end before the beginning, and is apparently trying to teach your human mind about itself. Teach it the lessons contained in each experience and the laws back of life and of physical manifestation, because that something is so different from and yet so intimate a part of what you call you, it must be akin to what is termed God. So this is this thing that lives in us, that moves us, that inspires us, that gives,
Who is us? So we know that. So,
yeah,
it's just,
this is something with a
yeah,
capital S there.
right. Yeah, something. It's something. So it's an entity. It's an entity that's infinite. Well, it's the Holy Spirit is what it is.
Yeah, exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
it's always here with us. It's guiding us. It leads the way with all the answers. And anything you would want, anything you want, that's why it's good. That's why God's good. He has anything you can possibly want, and God has. Anything.
Yes,
If you want some, what do you want? What we want really is the love and the joy and the peace and the light that's behind the things that we want, the symbols that we seem to want.
right.
You
But
know,
what we think we want is just it's almost, and I know you've experienced this. You want something like, something like ice cream or something, but nothing you get, even if it's ice cream, whatever it is, may be good, but it isn't really what you wanted. You don't even know what you want, but you want something. Do you ever have that?
yeah,
Where,
yeah, absolutely. The ice cream, what I wanted, it was the feeling behind the ice cream.
yeah, yeah,
I want the feeling. I want to feel good, but the probably goes away.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
temporary, and as the course
So,
goes, it goes the light ending.
yeah,
It keeps us here.
yes,
It keeps us here. And the whole point of that is to keep you here. The most you though, you can just all right. I'll do those drops of that and get out of here. I'll
yeah,
play it out. Like a program I made in a simulation. You know,
exactly.
I'll just play it out until I can leave. Hopefully, I won't be unscathed.
And yeah, and it's almost like, and I was just thinking about this the other day. If I've never done this, used this, but I know that people who use things like heroin or some kind of any kind of drug that becomes addictive, the first time they use it, they have an experience, and that experience is like wonderful and akin to heaven, etc. But also, one thing that it does is it starts stopping or breaking down the dopamine receptors in your brain, so that the next time you use it, you have to use more to have the
Of
same
course.
but you never have the same experience.
No,
And people
you're always
who
chasing
are,
it. You're always chasing it, chasing your tail.
Yeah, always people who are addicts are chasing that thing that they experienced at one time but can't find again no matter what they try. And they try more and more different drugs
The,
and people, end up ODing, finally, I mean,
it happens with everything though. The drugs is just the like a compressed. It's a symbol it's a compressed idea of all of all the addictions into something you can see. And this is dirty and it's not good, but or it takes care of our bodies in a direct way. But all these other psychological problems, the same exact the problems going on inside of it. You know what I mean?
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
for instance, I have an issue. I have an issue with detaching myself from my acting career.
Oh
Because
God.
every time I'm going to do a show, then I have second thoughts on it because I want to do a show. But the show, I see this shows is one of the only ways at least to make me happy.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
do I want to spend $20,000 on the show? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to. Well, I don't listen to what my wife won't do it anyhow. I think she'll spend $5,000 on the show. Actually, you know what I mean? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. She says, "Well, I
Uh,
know." She already said no, but sometimes she changes her mind. But if she changes her mind, I don't think I would do it. But oh my God, but how could I possibly be happy?
yeah. And it will never ever because
Yeah, but that's why. What happens when you keep going? So hopefully you win the Oscar.
right, if that's what your goal is, yeah.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
exactly. And then after that, two Oscars. You know,
Exactly. Or Screen Actors Guild
exactly,
and
exactly.
you
Or
know,
a SAG award or something like that.
get to be the GOAT, get an
Yeah.
Oscar, an Emmy, and a
And if I'm
uh
lucky, I'll have a quarrel with some journalists or something.
yeah.
And I'll be on the
Oh
news.
God. Yeah,
What are you
but it
still
never
saying?
ever
He talked.
eh,
He talked down to some journalist and got him a while or something. So anyhow, so this is one of those. But now as I realize you have these conversations right here, and the spirit talks to you, with you, and as you find that hey, that's a symbol of the joy.
yes.
You're putting acting there, and then I'm putting you here as a symbol of knowledge and growth and spirituality.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
We don't need
And
each. I mean, it sounds horrible. We don't really need each other's bodies at all. It's not horrible. It's just odd. We don't need each other. The way I said it originally was we don't even need each other.
right. Yeah. Because all we have is a thought of each other anyway.
Exactly.
That's all we
Exactly.
have is the thought of
Exactly.
each other.
Exactly. Isn't it weird?
And yeah, that can and like I never ever see certain members of my family, but they're still in my mind.
Yeah. 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 And friend of mine, and even if you see the person there, you can't see anything but the thought of them.
Yeah, exactly. And they could be dead for 6 months and I wouldn't even know it. If I found out, I'd be sad. No,
You know,
why
yeah.
was I sad that whole 6 months? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And then even the difference is in access. You can't the different type of existence. I mean, it's not essential, obviously. It's not what we call physical, but the existence is still nevertheless just the same.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
yeah, it's a power of freedom.
yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think there's more freedom in the non-essential area. There's more, there's more presence.
Yes. Yeah. I
But
agree.
who knows?
Who knows is right. So,
Mhm.
okay, so he's talking then in here about this something that is within us that is so intimate, and so much a part of us that it's that we think it's like God. And he says we have called it the higher self, HS, higher self, Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
And it is in fact very God, it is in fact very God in you. It is like a ray or reflection of God's mind shining somewhere deep within your consciousness, a light which shineth in the darkness, but the darkness of the outer human mind knoweth it not. For certainly, when it can get your mind's attention and you listen, It displays a wisdom that is as near to that of God as the human mind can conceive. And those who heed and obey are given a glimpse of something wonderful, which, while inexpressible, is altogether divine and most satisfying. So, and we've all had that where, you just feel that holiness is on you, or you feel that connection, or the angels are around you, or whatever it is. We all have had that feeling, and that's what we're chasing. The reality of it is that is what we're chasing, the thing that we're trying to catch and hold. And the thing is that we already have it, but we hide it from ourselves through our ego mind thinking. And so when we stop hiding it from ourselves, we see that it is here and always has been. And that's been my experience,
Uh,
is
it's
just knowing it's here.
yeah. There's no way. It's so hard, right? It's so paradoxical, that we're here, we're not here. And then all you do is, and it was, oh, this is so beautiful. And then they go back home and the same bumps in the road. What's cool about it is that the course of this acknowledges that. You know what I mean? Acknowledges the two levels.
Yes,
And number
yes,
two is number four.
yeah, yeah.
So it's and it's the thing. And so here you have the same thing. You certainly and those who heat a bacon. What was the last thing you just?
I just read this last paragraph. Uh, uh, it was displays a wisdom that is as near to that of God as the human mind can conceive. And those who heed and obey are given a glimpse of something wonderful, while
Yeah,
inexpressible is
yeah.
altogether most.
We try to you have the thing itself. That's what it is. It's right there with you. Yet we want to be here, but we don't want to disappear. And that's why we want to stay here. We don't want to disappear into the ocean. I don't want to become one with the pack, with the herd.
Right. The Borg.
Yeah, yeah, I don't want to be the Borg. Because no matter
Yeah,
how peaceful it is, it's not my peace. That's the ego's thing. It's not my peace. It's a piece of the whole. So it's everybody's peace. Now, the way the Spirit says it is the way more is you ever laugh with somebody more because there's somebody there with you watching something funny?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you watch a TV show and you say, "Oh, I wish so and so was here watching with me." Yeah, I wish my father was here. I wish so and so was here. Yeah, so come downstairs. Yeah, see this.
Exactly. I do that anyways. I'll be like, even to my mom who's been dead for 25 years, I'll be, oh, hi, mom, look at this.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. Or just anybody, a friend, your sister, anyone that be there, the next room you call them in. It's fun to watch
Yeah,
them. And then you're laughing with somebody, you look at their eyes and you're busting out laughing. It's just when somebody's there, it can be very much bigger. Remember the Borg have a great time with each other. I don't think so, but who knows?
yeah. And, they didn't develop that much of that, although you could tell the relationship because, they were all connected. And I think the writers of that were pretty conflicted about how to actually make it, because you could make it so that they were ecstatically happy,
Well, she
and I
was.
would think that'd be more like it. Because remember the invasion of the body snatchers. The
No, that was bad. Ooh, my daughter saw
those,
that. She bought right into it. She bought right into the whole thing, hook, line, and sinker. When
yeah,
he and then when he turned around and said, "Oh," she was like, "Oh my God!" It was unbelievable.
yeah, or the puppet masters. Remember that That's another one of those movies, Donald
And
Sutherland in that
yeah,
movie.
there's no problem
And
with that. See that.
the same thing, those people, they kind of explored that whole thing that when those people were relieved or the the puppet thing was removed from them, that they experienced a profound sense of loss and sadness because of that loss of connection that they had had.
Right,
And I
right,
think that that really is, honest to God, Wayne, I think that's the main problem that we have right now is
right,
that we have we're so disconnected from what is our natural. It's like having our arms and legs cut off. We're helpless in
yeah.
that because we are disconnected, and that's why we do all the crazy things that people do is because they're seeking that connection again. And so that has to be
And
profound.
the way to do it is just change your mind. And people don't realize that it sounds so simple. I remember I said to my daughter when she was having issues and people have, people coming over to the house and trying to help her with certain problems she was having. And I said, well, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be miserable and sad? Or do you want to be happy? What would you rather be? And then answer the question. And then when you get to happy, then do it.
Yeah, yeah,
And she said, that's idiotic. It's not,
yeah.
maybe that simple, Dad. Well, why not? This is your
Well,
mind. Yeah, I said when she was younger, she says, thinking about this. I go, what are you thinking about? She's like, I can, so this person bothered me yesterday. I go, make the person black, make the person white, make the person yellow, make the person pink. Make the person polka dots. Make the person, and she said, so whose image is that? Who owns that image? I do. Exactly. So
right.
who's doing that to you? I am. Right. Now, unless she has a problem with thinking, shows I did all the time. I take control of the colors of the image. And it works. Works like a charm. I do it all the time too. If I have a problem with somebody, I just put them in my head and I change their colors. I change their shapes and sizes. I make them bigger and smaller.
Yeah.
And you
Make
realize
them,
your mind thinks that everything is real.
yeah, yeah. And you make them whatever it is that you make them. And
Yeah.
I've that's what I've seen so much with people that I know who are looking at the same exact person I appear to be looking at, and they're going, "Oh, he is such a good man, kind family man. Everybody loves him. He's doing the best thing ever." And you're looking at him going, guy is the Antichrist. He's a demon from hell and should be expelled from the universe." But which one of us is right?
Who
Neither
knows?
one of us, because it's an image that I made up, just as it's an
This is
image
you
that
do.
yep.
You imagine you say to yourself, let's say one of them's name is Bob and one of them name is Johnny. John,
Okay.
Bob Johnson and Johnny Bob's, or whatever, Bob and Johnny. So you say Bob rules the world, and you get a feeling inside you that Bob rules the world, and he's one. Then you get a feeling, then you get a feeling that Johnny rules the world, and you go back and forth. And then your host, there's just, oh, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
You
matter.
hoot the same, right? You say, well, who's the hoot? They're both the same, meaningless, meaningless images.
Yeah.
And eventually, you can take control of them in the image of that you see out there, the image that you see, you externalize because you really think that it's not there, that's there. The one that you see out there is a part of you that you really think is there.
Yes.
That's why you have no
Yeah.
control over it all.
Yes. Yes.
You
And
know,
it is exactly what you want.
yeah, and it's so, and it's just so much what you want that you show that you just and we don't want it at the same time. But I leave it this way: is what we really think is most real.
Right.
Just we
Exactly.
throw it out there. All right, this is so real. I can't keep it in. I'm gonna throw it around me and pretend it's real. Out there. Instead of that, I'm gonna throw it. And then pretend. I'm gonna throw it on me so I can get away from me. And there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's around me. Just to say I want to.
And you got Course in Miracles students who are doing that very thing when they have a book right here that tells them, here's you want to know about behavior, be kind. What's real? Nothing. What are we here for? To love each other. We have a whole thing that's all about it. And yet you still have people saying, I don't know how to feel about this person. I don't know what to think about.
Right.
I don't like this. I don't. Well, you study a book that tells you nothing here is real. There's nothing to like or not like. This
Yeah.
is all a story in your mind. You're making up. And you know, it just
Just
it's
ask
so
yourself,
sick.
ask yourself, what's yourself? Should you love yourself?
Yeah,
Or this way, this is great. I read this once. I don't know if I remember totally, but it says you're about to spank your child, because they did something wrong. But think about who the real father is,
yeah,
you know, and
yep,
then say whether you want to hit your baby or hit your child.
yeah.
Like,
When you were little and they hit you, did they say, "This hurts me more than it does
no,
you"?
no.
My mom used to say that. This hurts me more than it does you. Like,
I'm not sure it did.
ma,
I'm not sure it did. Maybe it did. They didn't say it to me. Yeah, it would have to. It had to at least hurt them more than hurt me. My father was a tough man, so he may have thought that was warranted, and that really did into the feelings of it.
yeah,
He may have just said, you did it, and this is it.
gee.
So, yeah. But
All right.
that's sort of like the same thing. It's the ego's way of excusing himself.
Yeah,
I can do it. So the end justifies means sort of thing.
yeah. It
Yeah,
brings it's a aura of innocence that uh you know basically it's like the guards at the Nazi camps. They didn't feel guilty because they weren't doing it. They were just following orders.
oh, yeah,
And you can't, with your mind, if you really looked at it. I mean, I think these guys that are like ICE agents that are going out and doing all this
Biden.
horrific stuff to people, I think they know it's horrific. They know it's wrong and it's hurting them. But they're still, and some of them may enjoy it. I don't know, but I can't imagine anybody really enjoying doing that or
No,
feeling like they were right.
I think well, I heard one of them say. I heard a story that one of them screamed at one of the people that they're taking away. You liberals are supposed to destroy our country.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of that is a very illogical thing.
Yeah. That's the same
Very
thing that the
very
guard
yeah.
said. That's it.
Really. Yeah. Yeah.
Guard, yeah, marching people into the death chambers. Yep, this is for I'm a patriotic person. This is for my country.
Exactly. That's what it is. The patriots man, the enemy within. That was the most crazy speech I ever heard from a politician in our country.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The enemy
But there you
within.
are. Yeah.
They're more dangerous than there was like they're wearing nice clothing and plain clothes. And I mean, and he's saying that, and he's wearing the clothing. He is that clothing guy. He's the one in the nice clothing. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But as you say, there are images in my mind.
That's right. That's right.
And so
So let's look at section 2 here. God is all in all. I'm
yeah,
just going to read this. You have heard the statement that God is all in all, and of the light which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. Then that light must be a ray of God's mind that shines in the darkness of the human mind, ever trying to make it aware of its divine source within itself, the mind of God, from which it derives all that it is, and all that it has, and all power to be, to know, or to do anything. Then think, if God is all in all, he is in everything and in everybody, no matter what it is or who he is. It must be so. Yet, who of us always sees and acknowledges him as such? Good question.
yeah,
And
that's a good one.
because we do not acknowledge him in his manifestations, refuse to see him and call him everything he is not, we see instead all the error, the evil, and the lies that our darkened minds have accepted as real. lose ourselves in the maze of our, quote, separate misconceptions, and in consequence endure the inharmonies, disease, and suffering of minds thinking themselves apart from the consciousness that includes them and that and all that is. God being all in all, then all things and all men are good and perfect. Let me read that again. God being all in all, then all things and all men are good and perfect. They could not be otherwise.
Men, it means women, children, trans, anybody, anything. What is the old saying? It's not whether or not you can love for Christians. Is that whether or not you love Jesus? Is whether or not you love Jesus.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I'm afraid most Christians today would throw Jesus out on his ear.
Yeah, yeah. They have a hard time loving Judas.
Yeah, people tell, well, what is your political belief? I tell them, I'm a Christian, and you figure it out. You look, I'm a Christian, you figure it out. You go read the Sermon on the Mount, and then you tell me what my political belief is.
Right, right.
know, take care of the immigrants, take care of the women and children, take care of the elderly. Uh, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and so I said, no, Christianity is praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
yeah, which is not a Christian thing.
No.
Thou shalt not kill is actually in the Bible. And did you see what the Pope said the other day?
No, what do you say?
He said, I don't understand why people are so upset about abortion and they still approve of the death penalty. The way that you treat immigrants. How can you? That is life too. If you're pro-life in all things, not just in things that you pick and choose, like abortion. So he's really been given the Trump administration kind of a hard run there,
Oh yeah,
because
he's
pointing out all their hypocrisies.
absolutely. He doesn't like them at all. I mean, it's one of them of the church. They're consistent on that. They've always been anti-death penalty.
Yeah,
So there's a life is a life. I'm not saying that I agree with. I'm pro-choice, but their anti-pro-choice position is consistent and with their anti-death penalty choice. Most people in this country that are pro-life, as they call it, pro-life, are also pro-death penalty.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, in
Because
this country at least, so.
they don't even know what they're talking about. And they don't even know. They're just saying things because it's a good talking point, is what I think.
Yeah, well, it is basically the people that the political Christians, they're pro-controlling people, is what it is. They're controlling women.
Yes.
So if they can say, control whether you live or die, they want to be in charge of that. So if you're a woman and you're giving birth, it's people they have control over that. They have control over a lot. And it's women know that. That's why they're fighting that. That's why organizations fight that because no, my body, leave me alone.
Yeah. And really what they're doing now in a lot of ways they're trying to get more white people to have babies because of they don't they it's only inevitable that there is going to be at some
Yes.
point, and probably not the too distant future, but it's going to be difficult to tell the differentiation between the races because I mean, in my whole family alone, we have, like six different mixed couples that are, either Mexican American or African American. And, they have babies. We have all these little brown children running around. I think eventually, and this is something that someone prophesied a long time ago, I think in the Baha'i faith, is that eventually we'll all basically be the same color because we will not we'll take away those barriers between the racial
Oh, yeah.
uh,
In the Bible, the first Adam was created male and female as one being.
yeah,
It says a male and female he was created. I mean, male and female that he was it he then something was he they them or something like that. But if you
Right,
read
exactly. Were they?
Adam,
Yeah.
male and female he was one being. Then there's the second part, which almost like repeats the creation, where suddenly he was out of the dust of the ground. But the first one, when it was the ultimate creation of Adam, he was one being, male and female. So, well, as I said, one being, male and female.
Yes, yes. And then a rib was he was put to sleep. They were put to sleep, and a rib was taken from them,
Yeah.
and
The
a
river,
woman.
the river of awareness.
Yeah, that
And I'm not
that
saying that
brought
we weren't
out.
aware, but both of them point.
It's so interesting.
The thing, the quick word is I never woke up. Remember, Ray said that also.
Yes.
No words that they ever woke up.
And you know what? Joel Goldsmith said the same thing, and that was before the course was ever written,
Yeah,
because he
sure.
died in 1964. He said the same thing. I read it the other day, and I was like, "Hey,
Yeah, and well, yeah, Mary Baker Eddy said it also. I think the reference Jesus referenced Mary Baker Eddy in the Urtext, I think.
oh, that's right. That's who said
Yeah,
that was Mary Baker Eddy."
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's where
So
Joel Goldsmith got it
yeah,
from.
yeah, probably because they were contemporaries, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So then, how does it end up in A Course of Miracles
Well,
being given by Jesus? I mean, it's because
it's true.
that is the
I mean,
thought
they're
that,
the same spirit.
yeah,
I think.
interesting.
I think.
So, okay,
I
let's
mean,
see. We got a,
it's just truth is truth, and it could be said intuitively, or somehow it was just passed down. They read in books. You know, it's
yeah,
same circles.
same circles. So let's see. So let's see. We read God being all in all, then all things and all men are good and perfect. They
Yes, Bob.
cannot be otherwise. When God and his goodness and perfection are everywhere. But make no mistake when stating that all things and all men are good and perfect. We are not speaking of what you, with your quote, separate mind and present understanding, see and believe. We are not speaking of appearances of your separate mind's creations. For what you see now, the world you see now, are only the pictures you have built in your mind
Yeah,
of what you thought was the truth. My thoughts are images. Jesus tells us that in the Course.
yeah.
Before you really knew about God's being all in
That's the
all
thing. So
and sorry, and ever showing forth his goodness, beauty, and perfection in everything to those who have eyes to see. Therefore, it is necessary first to convince your mind of the truth so that it can be free itself of all these untrue beliefs, these false pictures of God and of his expressions of himself that it has built and is carrying around in its consciousness. Then listen, God, who is all in all and who is all good and all perfect, must also be all wise, all loving, and all powerful. Anything less than these is not of God, but must be man's wrong, ignorant, and distorted concepts of God and of his expressions of himself. Think that out until you see how true that is. So go back and look at that. Think that out until you see how true it is. Then all things of an harmonious or unhappy nature that you see, whatever they be, that are less than good or perfect, are only what you think is so because of ignorance or wrong teaching. And so, as long as you continue to believe these things are real, they will continue to be real to you. Is that A Course in Miracles or what?
that's
No matter
definitely
what they are, whether they pertain to the conditions surrounding you, to your body, to yourself, to your affairs, or to those invisible things which relate to and affect your life and health and happiness. All right.
midway through. I had a brain thing. I thought reading the course. And
Yeah.
it said, it's just the course. Oh yeah, it's this is another course.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
not really. I wasn't lost. Yeah, like some of your
Yeah.
eyes are closed, and but you feel the direction you're sleeping.
Yeah.
That's what it was
Yeah.
like. Oh yeah, it's another course. It's about it was the exact same thing.
Exact same thing. Exact same thing. Yeah. That's crazy. This
Yeah,
was written in
it's 60
1932,
years
I think.
later. I don't know, 60, I don't know, 70, 75 years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
1932, I think. I think 34.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's true. Well, everything you look at is an image. Everything you look at is an image. All right, so we got to the 2 minutes. I think we're out of time, everyone. Thanks so much for coming in. I hope that that was helpful, and I know you were. It was very helpful for me, Lynn. I didn't want to talk about the things to talk about today. I'm always helped. So and it's always a pleasure, of course. And I hope I had a great time, and I will be back for my sharing on tomorrow. I'm
Wow.
hoping
Yeah.
with Ozzy. If she comes in, I'm not sure, but if she comes in, I'll be either way. I'll be here at 11:30 my time, 12:30 your time. So until then, peace.
Thank you so much, Rev Wayne Stills. I'm going to go ahead and close out this YouTube. Please make sure you like the YouTube and subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll be announced when we have other